Howdy YouTube. Today we're going to be taking a look at a number of different types of signaling devices. Primarily we'll be looking at handheld flashlights, pinch lights or squeeze lights, headlamps, and a couple of more primitive technologies that you can use to signal. So I invite you to stay tuned and let's take a look. First on the list we have an Air Force signal mirror. Matches. A lighter with a small kerosene or oil lamp, a ferro rod, a streamlight key mate. This is the incandescent style, old style bulb, SOL brand core, combination knife, whistle, and LED flashlight. From the dollar store we have a combination touchpad pointer, flashlight, laser, and ink pen. A 9 LED light, push button on the back, a spotlight, single LED flashlight that plugs into the accessory socket in your automobile and recharges there. A newer model Streamlight key mate. This runs on 4 button cell batteries and has an LED light. From Innova, it's a small 4-function squeeze type light, LED. Again from Innova, this is a combination red and white LED with variable functions with adjustable brightness on both the LED red and LED white functions. This is a Coast LED Lenser 5 single function LED flashlight. This is a Coast Husky 3-function LED flashlight. This is a Princeton Tech Fuel model LED headlight with 4 functions. This is an Energizer cap brim light with red and white LEDs, 3 functions. This is an Outback brand single function LED flashlight. This is a Halo 150 model tent and emergency light. It's a Kel light, 2 C cells adapted with an LED bulb. And last we have an AmPro 3 D cell flashlight, LED, several functions, and beam focusing. there's a quick look at about 21 different kinds of lights and signaling devices. Which one would you choose? Matches? Good idea to have those with you no matter what, right? For signaling during the daytime, probably not so much, but I wouldn't leave them out of any kit for that particular failing of theirs. At nighttime, human eye is sense enough to pick up the light from a single match or a single candle 40 miles away, provided that it's dark enough and the light source is elevated high enough so that the curvature of the earth doesn't block it. It might be a worthwhile signaling device if that's all you have, but it'd be a better idea to use it for a fire. People could see a big fire a lot farther away than a single match. Butane lighter. You can certainly adjust the flame high or low if it's calm and that's all you have. But again, like the matches, better for starting a fire than trying to use it all up for signaling, at least in my opinion. Combination tool like this SOL core, a nice little knife blade on it, got a whistle on it, good for signaling, not a bad idea. And it has an LED light. It was visible 60 feet away, but barely. If your rescuers are 60 feet away, you can probably yell or use the whistle function. I wouldn't necessarily worry about them seeing the LED light when they're that close. Signal mirror? Absolutely. If there's any sunlight out, no question. Can be seen for miles and miles and miles, provided that there's sunlight. If it's overcast or raining, probably not going to work so good. But I would not leave it out of my kit. Ever, ever, ever. Signal mirror, must have. Micro LED light, multifunction, pretty good. At 60 feet we were able to see every one of those functions. At nighttime, much more so. I'd consider having one of those anytime I go out, at night or during the day, and it's in my pocket all the time as part of my EDC. I would not leave out a micro LED light like that. LED headlamp. Excellent choice. We were able to see all the functions of that at 60 feet. Put this on your head at night, your hands are free to do other things. Most of them have a rotating function, so you can aim it at the ground or at your work if you're doing fine handwork at night. I always have one of these in my kit. Even my smallest kit that I have, I've got one of these. Lights like these take 3 AAA cells. This one has 9 LED lights in it. It has a button in the back for turning it on and off. Weighs about 2 ounces. Not too much weight to put into a pack. Wouldn't mind having one of these along with me. Problem is that you got to hold it with one hand, or put it in your mouth and hold it. Not as convenient as a headlight, but certainly useful for signaling. Quite visible at night. And we're going up on the weight scale. This one weighs about 3 ounces, maybe 4. But it's very bright. And has 3 useful functions. If you don't have to worry about having both hands free, you could certainly use this on a dark night to find your way around camp, find your way down the trail. Very useful light. And I would probably have that one in my pack. Moving on up in size and weight both, 2-cell Kel light. This one happens to take C cells, has an LED bulb in it. Has pretty good brightness at night. I don't know that I would include this in a kit for on the trail or camping. This is the big bruiser of the ones we demonstrated. This one has 2 D cells in it. It's quite heavy, weighs about 2 pounds, and I don't think I would take this along in my kit. Too much for the backpack, too heavy. Great one for the car for emergency kit or around the house. One that we did not demonstrate, but almost everyone has the capability of having, is a cell phone light. Most modern cell phones, new cell phones, iPhones, and Android phones have a camera and a bright LED light for taking pictures. There's a number of free apps that you can get on your Google Play Store or iTunes Store. Download for free usually, that'll use that light as a flashlight. And this particular one also sends SOS. Take my cell phone with me when I go up in the woods. I also have a 30,000 milliamp hour power bank. I can charge my cell phone 6 or 7 times with that. So there's a quick look at some considerations for signaling devices when you're on the trail, when you're camping, when you're out hiking in the woods or the backcountry. Number 1, how much weight do I want to carry? Number 2, how familiar am I with where I'm going? And number 3, maybe what are some of the pitfalls of where I'm going to where I might have to actually signal for help in an emergency. And I would pack my kit accordingly. Weight is a factor and utility is a factor. The balance of the two is the key. Apple Stump Bushcraft Stuffing Things, hoping you're having a great weekend this weekend. Hope to see you next time. On an episode we have planned for the near future, we're going to take some of these lights out into the dark, maybe into the forest. And we'll take a look at how useful they are in darkness for signaling. Until then, adios, have fun, stay safe, cheerio.